Hello everyone, welcome to another interesting session of Daily News Protocol of the Hindu newspaper analysis contributed by Vishnu IS Academy. Today we are going to see the news articles for the date 9th April 2022. These are the listed articles to be discussed for today. If we can see the first article, the CAA rules are to be extended further for another 6 months. The Union Cabinet has asked and requested. In this regard, if we can see, what is the CAA? What is the citizenship? What is the Citizenship Amendment Act? What are all these? Let's learn few things about this. There is a Citizenship Act of 1955. It was the first and foremost act that was enacted in this regard. So, if we can see the citizenship that was promised in the Indian Constitution. If we can see that the citizenship that was given to the Indian citizens was single citizenship. There is no thing such that the double citizenship would be given and promised to the Indians. As per the Article 11, it empowers the Parliament to enact any laws regarding this issue. As per that, the Union Government, the Parliament has enacted the Citizenship Act 1955. Right, and the subject citizenship was in the Union list. Hence, the Parliament will have the exclusive powers to enact any laws on this regard. Right. Now, if we can see the topic here, what is the Citizenship Amendment Act? It is nothing but the providing Indian citizenship to illegal immigrants, illegal migrants who are coming and entering into the India. That is nothing but the illegal migrants. We should know the definition of illegal migrants. What are they? They are none other than any foreigners who would enter India without any documents that are to be prescribed. Okay, like any passport and visa. These have to be produced and shown as a proof of their identity to our Indian authorities to get the legality of their migration into India. And also, second condition is that if any foreigner having these documents entered India should stay and live in India within the permitted time period. If he stays in India beyond the time period given, he also can be considered as illegal migrant. Right? So, these are all the things we should learn about the illegal migrants. Recently, under this CAA, the amendment rules that were given were the status of citizenship was given to 6 minority communities: Hindus, Sikhs, Parsis, Christians, all these, Jains and Buddhists. To all these 6 communities, the illegal migrants, who can be the illegal migrants from the 3 neighboring states, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, can be given under the new Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Moving forward, in this regard, if we can see the conditionalities and the eligibilities, who can get the Indian citizenship. There are few conditions for this. If we can see right from the 1987, at that times, any person who was born in India can get the Indian citizenship. That was the single and simple conditionality. And after that, and also one more point is that if a person has a parent that who was already born in India, if a person have one of his parent as a Indian, that was also one more condition to claim Indian citizenship. And afterwards, in 2004, another conditionality was added to that. Earlier we have seen that one of the parent of a person should be Indian, right? Now the another parent shouldn't be an illegal migrant. Earlier we have seen what is illegal migrant, right? So the parent of another person, the another parent of the person shouldn't be the illegal migrant. So that is the conditionality till the 2004. And afterwards, because of the pressures and because of the requests from the illegal migrants to the India from our neighboring countries, our acts and our laws have to be amended. So regarding that, the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 was enacted. So as per the Citizenship Amendment and citizenship criteria, there are two such ancient laws, the Foreigners Act 1946 and Passports Act 1920. Regarding these two acts, as per these two acts, any illegal migrant who entered India can be punished and deported and can be sent to jail also. The stringent laws like these were amended along with the Citizenship Act 1955. These three acts were amended and a new law, Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 was enacted. Moving forward, let us see the next news article. The FCRA, the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, FCRA. What is the FCRA? Why it is in the news? The Supreme Court recently upheld that the FCRA conditions, the conditions for to receive the foreign funds by the individuals or the NGOs should be strictened, and the foreign funds should be considered, and the NGOs should open any new mandatory account in the any branch of the bank. So all these conditions are being put because to mitigate and restrict any unlawful transfers into the India. So in this regard, any unbridled inflow of foreign funds may be destabilized, the sovereignty of the nation. So that's why Supreme Court recently held some new restrictions on the FCRA. In this regard, let's learn some background regarding the FCRA. What is the Foreign Contributions Act? The FCRA was earlier enacted in the 1976. It was amended in the year 2010. So if we can see, what are the foreign donations? These are nothing but any contributions given by any foreign entities to the individuals who would be residing in India, or to any organization or to any NGO, right? So these foreign donations are being restricted under this 2010, that 50% of foreign funds can be used for the administrative purposes. But under the new renewal amendment of FCRA in 2020 has reduced that limit to 20%. That means the contribution, the foreign funds can be used for only 20% under the administrative purpose. This is very important to be remembered for your preliminary examination. And also these conditionalities would be applicable to the individuals, organizations and associations, or any groups or NGOs, right? So if you can see the new restrictions in detail, there should be 1 point entry for an organization. If there is any branch for an organization in any area, that should maintain one point entry to get those transfers. And also the Aadhaar card was mandatory to register any NGO. Okay, and also the operational FCRA accounts are to be barred. A new account should be opened and maintained to maintain any organizations or to form and maintain any other branches of that organization. All these things to be remembered for your exam. Moving forward, if you can see the next news article, the IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. What is it? It is an organization set up under two bodies. Those are the WMO and the UNEP, World Meteorological Organization, and United Nations Environment Programme. It was set up in the year 1988. Its objective is nothing but to research all aspects of climate change and provide information to government for policy making. It researches on all the possibilities to mitigate and reduce the climate change effects, and also it suggests the governments to frame any policy makings regarding their circumstances and considering their issues. So, under the IPCC, it releases some assessment report. Till now, 5 such assessment reports were released. 1990, 1995, 2001, 2007 and in 2013, assessment reports were released. Recently, in 2018, a special report on climate change was also released to mitigate the global warming. And the assessment report 6 is the recent report released by the IPCC, and there are 3 working groups to work with this. 3 such reports were released. Recently, in this week, the 3rd assessment report of AR6 that was released by the working group was recently released. Going into details of that, these are all the reports till now. The working group 1 released the report in 2021. The title of this is The Physical Science Basis. It focuses on the physical science of the climate change, and it gives some updates and it gives some suggestions to maintain the balance of the physical science of the climate change. And the working group was another report under the working group 2 was released in 2022. The title of this was Impacts, Adaptations and Vulnerability. It works on that and it gives such suggestions to mitigate the vulnerabilities and to consider the adaptations regarding that. But here if you can see the word adaptation, the adaptation means adapting and seeking any measures to mitigate, to reduce any consequences that were already occurred because of some disaster on any climate or environmental change. But the word mitigation gains much importance. Why? Because mitigation is the prevention of any such disasters, any such climate change mechanisms. So, before facing those disasters and damages, through the mitigation techniques, we can prevent such dangers. So, that is the focus of the 3rd report of the working group 3, which was released in 2022. It is titled as the Mitigation of Climate Change. If you can understand and see, the 2nd report focuses on the adaptation techniques and the 3rd report focuses on the mitigation techniques. It provides an updated global assessment of climate change, mitigation progress and pledges. Clear? Moving forward, what are the highlights of the 3rd report of the assessment report 6? It has given so many conditions and so many warnings to all the global nations. In this regard, if we can consider what is the importance of IPCC, why should we give this much importance to IPCC? Why should consider all its reports and suggestions? Why? Because it is very authentic research. Very much specialists will work under the IPCC. And the COP summits, Conference of Parties of UNFCCC and another COP summits would also rely on the suggestions given under this report. That's why the IPCC reports are very much important for our exam. Specifically, as it is the relevance to our environment syllabus, the reports and the points that were given under this report were very much important for our exam. So, as we have seen earlier, this report has focused on the word mitigation, and also the immediate and deep reduction in greenhouse gases is the very much need of the day. Why? Because if the global warming goes till beyond the 1.5 degrees centigrade, the report has given the warning that. Why? Because the report is giving a warning to the world nations that if the global warming, if the temperatures of the entire globe are going beyond 1.5 degrees centigrade, the conditions would go beyond our hands. And also the global warming should be limited to 2 degrees centigrade. If that also goes beyond the 2 degrees centigrade, extremely dangerous conditions would occur, such that all world nations may go and inundate under the water, and there would occur water shortage of drinking water, and extreme heat waves and terrifying storms, and the extinction of some species may occur. All these disaster and extreme conditions may happen if we can't control the temperatures under the pre-prescribed limits. And also there is alarming rise in the global greenhouse gas emissions. And the possibilities of mitigations are like we can focus on the renewable energies, electric vehicles, and the climate friendly buildings. Considering all these areas, the mitigation is much more possible. But our nations should work very much focusedly on this. In 2019, a global net anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions were increased. And if we can consider some statistics regarding this, it was 54% higher than that of the 1990. Some statistics like these are important for your mains examination. You can write some such points in your introduction while writing any mains answer in this chapter. And also carbon inequality remains pervasive. It still is going higher and higher. And the least developed countries are emitting only 3.3%. Why we are stressing out on this point is that the global emissions are contributed much more by the developed nations. That is the most concerning point, and all COP summits are focusing on that to come to a conclusion and negotiation regarding this concern. Clear? And the pledge to Paris Agreement, it is also like a very good way forward. We should stay on our pledge that was signed under the Paris Agreement to mitigate the emissions, to reduce the emissions till 1.5 degrees centigrade. And impacts of climate change on global GDP would also will be very pervasive. The global GDP would also reduce, and the impact of climate change on this will be very much higher. Okay, moving forward, let us see some prelims facts of the day. SFDR. What is SFDR? The solid fuel ducted ramjet. It is nothing but a missile system that was recently tested from the Chandipur station of Odisha. It has successfully testified. It was developed by DRDO. In this regard, if we see some specifications of this, it is a mission propulsion system. It has the capability to intervene and to attack any threats that were going with supersonic speeds. So that is the main specification of SFDR. It would attack any threats that were going with supersonic speeds. Right? These are all the news articles to be discussed for today. Let us meet on the another interesting session on tomorrow. Thank you.